Last week, inside our community, one of our members asked if we could do some deep dive training in how we write our newsletters with AI. So this is one of those videos. I'm also going to show you how we use AI in order to create our lead magnets, as February is all about lead magnets, how to create them, what type to create, and where to put them to drive free organic traffic over to your newsletter to get subscribers. But as I said, we were asked directly if we could do some training on this. We do have some already on the channel, but I wanted to go into a little bit more detail on how we write newsletters with AI. I'm going to show you which tools we use for client newsletters. I'm going to show you how the tool works, and yes, we do use this with clients. They know that we're using AI to write their newsletters, and they all so far love the idea because it's going to save them money, because we can do more at a lower cost than most other businesses are offering for our clients, and we can get it done quicker as well, which means we can schedule newsletters well in advance for our clients, which gives them the security and confidence that we know what we're doing. We can deliver the service that they want, and it takes the pressure off them because they can focus on other parts of their business. So I'm going to show you exactly how the tool works, where the prompts are, the different settings, talk you through those options, and then I'm going to show you how to create a newsletter in 5 minutes using some of the additional settings within the tool. So the tool I've got here is HoppyCopy, and this is the one we're using at the moment with our clients. Now, if you want to know about pricing, I'll show you that at the end, but you can create newsletters obviously with the free version of ChatGPT, but paying a little bit of money every month is going to help you create better quality content. Is going to save you a huge amount of time, and in my opinion, it is a great way of doing this. Now, if you get yourself a client, obviously what the client is paying you is going to cover the cost of the software. And again, that's something that people in our community have been asking about. Can we go over how we get clients? We actually had a Q&A live here on the channel, and if you find that video, you'll be able to see how we find clients, but we're going to do more content on that in March. So if you want to know about that, then March videos are what you want to subscribe for. But you can see here I'm inside HoppyCopy, link to the tool down in the description. And the reason we're going to use this one is we're talking about AI copywriting for newsletters, for emails, and you can do a huge amount with this one tool. As I said, we are talking about in February about lead magnets, and I'm going to do another video training. I don't know if I'm going to do it here on the channel or in the community, where I talk about how you can use some of these other tools here in order to create your lead magnet, again in just a few minutes. We've got a couple of videos already about how to identify the lead magnet you want, how to use AI, what your first lead magnet should be to drive traffic for free to your newsletter. So do go check out those videos on this channel. So the tool that I'm going to be using is this one here, obviously the newsletter creator. So come into HoppyCopy and click on the newsletter creator. So we've got several options straight away. As you can see, we can do a multi-section and a single story. Multi-section is exactly what it sounds like. If you've got a newsletter where you're going to be talking about different things within your newsletter, so for example, if you've got something to do with, let's say, a newsletter for female golfers, that's the niche you're going after. I'd probably niche that down even more and target beginning female golfers. You also might want to target like a particular region area if you then want to start building relationships with golf clubs and things like that, making money that way, and niche down even further. But what I might want to talk about within my female golfers newsletter is I might want to talk about equipment, I might want to talk about golf clubs, I might want to talk about clothing, I might want to talk about how to improve a particular skill, and so that would come under the multi-section. If I wanted to deep dive just on one of those things, or I have a newsletter which is sort of maybe around different ideas within a particular industry or market, and I'm just rotating through those ideas. So for example, it could be something like email marketing, and I want to do single story going into detail about different parts of email marketing, just taking people through a journey, then a single story might be a better option. So all I need to do is I need to click on one of these, and then I'm going to fill these details out. And this is the kind of thing that you would have to train ChatGPT on, and it would take you a little bit of time because you also need to learn how to prompt engineer. All we have to do within HoppyCopy is answer these questions. So the from, so who's my newsletter from? So I put a little bit of information about the name of the newsletter and what it does. The target audience we've just established, we're going to be doing this for female golfers who are beginners, so that will go in there. And then the topic of interest that I would want to include. It does say you can leave it blank, so it will come up with something. So I think I might try that one today so you can see how that particular option works. So I'm going to go ahead, pause the video, fill this out, and then we'll see where it does. So as you can see, we've now filled this out. We're doing a weekly newsletter that gives training, tips, and advice for female golfers. If you've got a name of the newsletter, you can put that in there. If you have got, if you're writing it for yourself, you're the brand, you can put that in there as well. We've got the target audience, which is female golfers who are beginners and want to improve their game and become more confident on the green. And then I've left this one blank just to see what what HoppyCopy is going to do. If I was going to use ChatGPT in combination with this, I could go over to ChatGPT and I could use the free version and I could ask it for some ideas. So I could have the from and the target audience. I just cut and paste this bit into ChatGPT and say, give me 20 ideas of topics that I could write about in my newsletter, and then I could cut and paste one of those into here. Now, when I'm using this tool, I really like Friendly for my newsletters. I just feel like it has the right kind of way of talking to the reader when I'm using this tool. The only time I might use a different one is if I was doing a more professional style B2B newsletter. Again, if you are doing more of a personal sort of day in the life newsletter where you're sharing about you, or you're working with a creator rather than a business, then you might want to go for one of these other ones like Witty, for example. And again, if you're going for a newsletter where every now and then you might want to do a newsletter that's sort of where you're working with a brand and they're sponsoring you, then you might want to go for the persuasive to sort of pick out the benefits of a particular product you're showing off that week. But I'm going to stick with Friendly, and we can include images in our newsletter. And then we've got two options. We can go for the faster model or the more in-depth model. I don't find there's a massive difference in these, and it's really easy to go back and swap between them. So just for speed, to help make sure this video doesn't go on too long, because I do want a detailed training, but obviously want to keep the pace up, I'll go with speed. So you can see straight away HoppyCopy is going and it is writing for me. I can ask it to generate more. I can just pick exactly what it's got and I can insert it all. But what I would do now, because this is for a client and I want to do a really, really good job, and I don't just want to rely on the AI, I would then go through this. So what I can see here is I've got the first section within my newsletter. As you can see, we went for multi-section. It's picked out for me that we've got tips and techniques, which is a great thing because that's exactly what I asked for. And we can see these are the prompts that it's going to, HoppyCopy is now going to give the AI. So it says, in this section, provide a brief introduction to the topic and why it's important for new female golfers, which is awesome because it's picked out the audience. Then include 3 bullet points with engaging tips and techniques to improve their golf game. So what we've got here is add a practical tip or technique relating to golfing. Then we've got such as improving swing mechanics or mastering a specific shot. Now, because we were asked by the member of our community to go into more detail, this is the bit that I would start to edit. So I probably already have an idea of what I would want to talk about. I might know what my previous newsletter was about, so instead of keeping this really, really broad, I might actually break this down into a specific shot I want to focus on, or a specific swing technique. So I'd probably be taking one of these options out, just give the AI one option and then give it a little bit more detail. Now, the reason I picked this is I know nothing about golf. Okay, so I wanted to show you how well this does writing about a topic that I know nothing about. I want to put myself sort of in a beginner's shoes, in your shoes, if you're starting off with a newsletter and you don't know a huge amount about a topic that you want to write about, or you're not familiar with the AI. Now, I always advise with your first newsletter, you want to go out there and write about something you do know about, because you are writing, you want to write confidently, and you're going to have to write about this for a year. You're going to be creating lead magnets. You've got to be passionate about what you're writing about. So I would definitely just make it really clear and give it one specific shot that I would go after. Then for tip 2, it says include advice on how to navigate different golf courses and scenarios, or tips for putting and chipping. So again, this is now giving me some ideas. I would focus on maybe just putting or just chipping, and therefore I would tweak this to be that particular golf club that would relate to that one, and then suggested exercise or drills that can help boost strength and flexibility. I think this is a great idea. And what I can also do, and I often do with when I'm using HoppyCopy, is I will have a note open and I will be making notes, because this is going to inspire me to think about future editions of my newsletter, especially when I'm working with clients and I might not be as familiar with their niche as they are. I can use this and say, oh, maybe we should be doing an entire newsletter in the future on exercises, an entire newsletter on drills, and then I can take these ideas, go back into ChatGPT, use it for ideation, and then go back to my client and say, look, these are some of the, let's make March about drills or exercise. What do you think about these titles? Then my client will come back to me, say, love the titles, or quite often we ask them to tweak them slightly. And then we can go away and write the newsletter with confidence because they've signed off and they're happy with what we're going to produce for them. So that's what I would be doing. I'd be going through and I would be tweaking all of these, and then I would do exactly the same for here. We've got golf equipment and gear. So if I have affiliate links already, so I've already signed up with a particular brand or with a particular website that does golfing equipment, then I'm going to be mentioning specific items that I have affiliate links for within this section. Remember, it says highlight a specific golf club. So if we decided to pick putting and we're going for that particular club, then I can also highlight that down here, which would be, again, a great way for me to be able to monetize my newsletter. Then we've got some golf apparel, and then we've got some accessories as well. We've got golf GPSs. Again, that could be a whole newsletter where I'm just reviewing golf GPSs, because I know that's a high ticket item, and if I'm putting in my affiliate links, I'm more likely to make some money. So I might write that one down for an idea, remove it, but find a gadget or an accessory that would link to the type of newsletter that I'm writing for this week. And then I've got mental game and confident boosters. And again, if we go up here, you can see that I mentioned more confident on the green, so the AI has taken that for me. And again, I would just go through something like this, where I'm quite happy for it to be a little bit more open. I might not take out one of these options. I'm more than happy to leave them in. And then we've got this golfer spotlight here, which is talking about success stories. Now, with this kind of section, just a warning, it's going to make stuff up because it doesn't have any context. So if I had information about a particular female golfer that I was going to showcase, then I could add that in. But I don't actually personally particularly like this option here. I don't think it's going to produce what I actually want. Okay, so I'm not going to hit the right section. I can just go ahead and delete it and say I don't want that one, or I've got the option of clicking here and asking it to generate more, and it will give me more options of things that I can write about. So we've got etiquette and strategies, might be a good one, resources and tools. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the AI writing. So let's imagine I've gone through, I've tweaked all of this, and then all I need to do is I'm going to hit write. Now if I hit insert, it's just going to put this into the document, which isn't what I want, so don't click that. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to write one of these sections, but I could hit write all. And now what's going to happen is the AI is going to go through and it's going to write that entire section. Don't worry about these pictures here. It just means the AI is going to go and find the images for me. Now don't find that these images from this tool straight away are the best. You can change the prompt here, okay, and then ask it to find something else. But again, I can find that it doesn't work brilliantly. So you can see I put in female golfer, it says golfer swinging a club, but when I click on it, it says female golfer. So it is a little bit glitchy, but there is a workaround that I'm going to show you. Again, I'm not massively a fan of these pictures, so let's see if we can put a photo of a female golfer, which might give us a better picture. As I said, there is another way to do this, to see if it finds anything better for us. So what's going to happen, you can see I've written this entire section. We can go ahead and we can ask it to write the next section as well. And what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to go and insert this. If I don't like what it's produced and it hasn't really done what I wanted it to, I can click here, I can click edit plan, and I can go back and ask it to write again, tweak my prompts and get a better version. But if I'm happy with it, I'm going to insert it into my document. Now, as I said, I'm writing a female golfer's newsletter, and I've got a picture here of a man playing golf, which is something that I don't want. So what I'm going to do is I can go ahead and I can change the images. So straight away I can just go in to the images and I can just put female golfer, and it will go ahead and it will find images for me. As you can see, not massively happy with what it's got, so I'm just going to put the word golfer in, see what it comes up with. Now obviously you can use stock images of your own and import them, but we want to do this in a way that saves time, so we don't have a huge amount of images of female golfers. So what you can do is you can create your own. So I'm going to create an image. I'm going to put female golfer on the green. I'm going to leave everything as it is, and then I'm just going to hit enter, and it should go ahead. So hit create, you can change the number of images, and it should go ahead and it should create an image for me. Okay, you can do lots and lots of options with this. I'll just show you while it's working. You've got loads and loads of things that you can put into your newsletter in order to make it more engaging, and this is what you can create within the software. And as you can see, you can get AI. I might actually ask it to just do me a photograph. This has produced an AI image for me that I can click to use, or I can edit it. As you can see, the AI is working and it is producing images for me. Okay, so just pause the video to let the AI work, and this is the image I decided to pick. I'm just going to take that one out because I didn't like that, and then I can just go through and I can edit up my article. I don't need as many pictures as it puts in, so I've gone for that one with the AI, and then I can just go through and I can proofread this. Now, if there are some things that I want to add to this, then what I'd be using is, I really like to use the AI chat. Okay, now what you can do is you can just take a section. So if I wanted this one to be a little bit longer, I can hit expand, and within the newsletter tool, the AI will analyze that. You scroll down a bit and it will give me 3 additional points that I can add in if I want to expand on that particular section. If I wanted to though, I might just want to add something and use the AI chat. So I can again pick speed or depth, and I can type in, and you can talk to it if you want to as well, and I can ask it to put in some additional information that relates to this particular part of my article without having to go back and edit those particular prompts. And this is a really nice way of adding little bits of additional content that you want into your newsletter. So here I am in the chat, and just to show you how this works, I've put in a prompt. So I have a newsletter, so it knows that I'm within the newsletter's chat. I'm writing about mastering your swing mechanics, which is this part here. I've told it it's for new female golfers, so it's got the audience. Give me 4 bullet points I could add to this section of my newsletter. So I want to add a little bit more detail to this part. All I need to do then, as you can see, I hit enter, and this is what it has given me. Okay, so all I need to do now is copy this, paste it across, and I've now expanded that section using the chat. And I can do all the editing that I want to do within this tool. And then I can just go through and do exactly the same. If I'm happy, then I can just close the chat. I can go back to the writing tools, and I can go down and I can add the additional sections, or just make sure you've got your cursor at the bottom, because wherever you add it to ask it, wherever the cursor is where it's going to add the text. So just make sure you're at the bottom before you go away and you add the next section. If you are sending this via email, which you should be because it's a newsletter, then what you might also want to do is use the spam check. So once you're finished, you can just highlight everything, hit the spam check, and then you will get a spam score. This is very important because if you have a high spam score, then your newsletter might not end up in people's inboxes. It might end up in people's spam. Now that will happen if you're using certain words that have been highlighted by whatever the email service provider is, whether that's Google or something else, so Gmail or something else, has been highlighted as a spam word. So you can use the spam checker. It will highlight which bits of your text might be indicated as spam, And then what you'll be able to do is edit your wording so it reduces your spam score. The last thing you're going to want to do, obviously if we're thinking about selling with this, is you're probably going to want some kind of call to action, get people to take some action within your newsletter, whether it's visiting a sponsor or giving you some information, replying with some information, taking part in a poll. And again, you can write that call to action with the chat in order to be able to get a nice call to action based on whatever your product is or whatever you want the person reading your newsletter to do. Okay, now there are a ton more tools that you can use to put things into your newsletter, such as call to actions, as we just mentioned here. If you don't want to do it in the chat, but the chat allows you to add more detail. And you can see you can write bullet points, but for me, I just really enjoy using the chat. I find that it gives me better results. So what we've done today is we've shown you how I use this tool for our clients, how it works. Like I said, you can create a newsletter in under 5 minutes. Obviously, this training is more in detail, so we've been through all the settings and things, but you can get a 3 to 4 minute newsletter written with this tool in under 5 minutes. Get the copy done, get the images done, either uploading your own or using the stock or getting AI to do it. Putting in those emojis, you can add additional emojis as there if you want to, and doing all the formatting. So all you've got to do is cut and paste it into Beehive or whatever platform you're using, and then do your last bit of editing, and then it is ready to go. Now, I did say I'd show you the pricing at the end of this video. So this is for the yearly plan. It's $23 a month, which will get you 20,000 words generated, up to 10 competitors monitored. So you can do competitor monitoring. We talk about this in our free course here on the channel. You can find your competitors, monitor their emails, see what they're talking about, what brands are they working with, so you can approach the same people, how are they designing their newsletters, so that you can look at what they're doing and then take what you like and improve on it for your newsletter. Unlimited brand voices, which again you can set up your own brand voice and style, and put in your own assets. If you're writing for you, if you're writing for a client, you can put that as well. And then you've got the one user. If you do end up getting yourself a couple of clients that you want to write the newsletters for, then the Pro is a better option, because you have got unlimited brands and voices, which means you can set up individual brands for your individual clients and put all their assets in one place, so you're not having to do that every time. And you can monitor more competitors as well, so you can monitor 5 or 6 competitors for each of your clients, and you're getting a lot more words as well, which again, if you're writing for multiple clients, then you're going to be writing multiple newsletters, lead magnets and so on, and so you're going to want more words. And you should be charging a decent amount for writing newsletters to clients, so this amount of money will be a very, very small amount. And if you want to take advantage of their 7-day free trial to test everything out, then all you need to do, as I said, link down in the description, click that, sign up to the free trial, give it a go and test it out for yourself. As I said, you can do tons with HoppyCopy. We're going to be showing you how we write lead magnets with HoppyCopy in a future video. So subscribe if that sounds of interest to you. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one.